King Charles II at Newmarket, a day of horse racing and royal leisure. This narrative is proudly brought to you by Polly Speaks For You. At Polly Speaks For You, we are committed to empowering individuals, especially those with disabilities or learning challenges, through innovative text-to-speech and voice recognition technology. Polly Speaks For You is more than just software. It's a tool for self-expression, connecting people with the world in meaningful ways. By blending the richness of history with cutting-edge technology, Polly Speaks For You demonstrates that every voice, whether preserving the past or shaping the future, has the potential to inspire. While we strive to make the story engaging, our primary focus is on storytelling itself. The visuals are secondary. We're showcasing the remarkable capabilities of text-to-speech software that bring these stories to life. The King's Escape to Newmarket. The year was 1671, and the court of King Charles II was bustling with politics, grandiose banquets, and the ever-watchful eyes of foreign dignitaries. Though the king relished the excitement of London, his heart yearned for the wind-swept heathland of Newmarket, the town where he found both sport and solace. It was his escape, where horses ran free and the political intrigues of Whitehall felt far away. Charles had always been a lover of horse racing, and Newmarket was the heart of the sport. He had first visited as a boy, but after his restoration to the throne in 1660, he made it a royal retreat. He even built a royal residence there, known as the King's House, to ensure that he could visit regularly without the need to stay in the homes of nobles. This particular spring, Charles announced his intention to leave for Newmarket, much to the dismay of his advisors, who were deep in discussions about matters of state. "Your Majesty," the Earl of Arlington began, "there are pressing matters that require your attention. The French ambassador seeks an audience, and there is the matter of the Dutch conflict to discuss." The king waved a dismissive hand, his eyes twinkling with mischief. "Arlington, you must understand. Newmarket calls. I have business there, and by business I mean my horses." With a small entourage, the king departed London. The journey to Newmarket was long but invigorating. The fresh air and open countryside a welcome change from the smoke and noise of the city. Upon arrival, the king was greeted with cheers from the townsfolk, for they knew what his visit meant: days of horse races, feasts, and entertainment. On this occasion, the king had a particular racehorse in mind, a magnificent stallion named Old Rowley, who had become something of a legend at court. Charles himself was said to have ridden him on several occasions, and he took great pride in the horse's success. The race was set to take place on the vast heath just outside the town. Nobles and commoners alike gathered to witness the spectacle, placing their bets and speculating about the outcome. Charles stood among them, not as a distant figure of authority, but as one of the people, laughing and chatting with jockeys, trainers, and even the odd stable boy. As the race began, the thunder of hooves filled the air, and the king's eyes remained fixed on Old Rowley. The horse ran like the wind, his muscular frame cutting through the air with effortless grace. The crowd cheered as the stallion crossed the finish line first, and Charles let out a triumphant shout. "By God, there's no better horse in all of England." But the king's visits to Newmarket were not all about horse racing. He used these trips to escape the pressures of his reign, enjoying hunting, gambling, and spending time with his mistresses. His favorite, Nell Gwynn, often accompanied him, much to the scandal of the court. She was a former actress, and her wit and charm made her a perfect match for the king's lively personality. That evening, after the race, Charles and his entourage gathered for a feast at the king's house. The laughter of the king echoed through the halls as he recounted tales of his escapades, with Nell seated beside him, her sharp humor keeping everyone entertained. But even in the midst of merriment, Charles remained a ruler. He used these informal settings to discuss matters of state with those he trusted most, often making decisions that would shape the future of the country while sitting by a roaring fire, glass of wine in hand. As the night drew to a close, Charles looked out over the darkened landscape, the heath stretching into the distance. Newmarket was a place where he could be both king and man, where the weight of the crown felt lighter, if only for a few days. The next morning, he would rise early to watch another race, or perhaps take a long ride across the heath with Nell by his side. For now, though, he was content to enjoy the peace that Newmarket offered, a brief reprieve before returning to the bustling court of London. Charles II's love for Newmarket helped shape the town into what it is today, still considered the birthplace of British horse racing. His many visits to the town left a legacy that is remembered in its ongoing reputation as the heart of the sport. If you're enjoying this story, please remember to hit like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us continue creating content that educates and empowers. To learn more about South Africa's leading accessibility software and to support our dyslexic-friendly initiative, visit www.polispeaks4u.co.za. Drop a comment if you want more information. Thank you for watching this video.